Right, so I've taken the bit of wood off of here because we want to see behind the radiator, because we've got British Gas to quote us to take off both radiators, one here and one in here, which I know I've explained so many times, and he's fitting a combi boiler upstairs, so we know this one behind here is really shitty. We're just not sure about what's behind here, so I've taken off that bit of rail that was holding up the radiator cover, so that's off now. We're going to try and have a look behind there and I'll let you know what it looks like. Okay, so actually behind here, the plasterwork, I don't know how well you're going to see any of this. Let me put it on that setting, that might be better. The actual plasterwork itself isn't too bad, but there is a lot of absolute nonsense behind there. Big cobwebs, bits of rubbish. So once this all comes off, it might not actually be too bad, but we've now got to decide, do we keep the radiators on the quote? Oh, I haven't actually told you the quote, have I? So let me show you. British Gas. Oh, I should just put in boxes around the place, honestly. A box that says mugs on it, just leaves it there. Right, so British Gas quoted us. So British Gas quoted us, because I haven't actually showed you the quote yet. British Gas quoted us £6,040. This is for a combi boiler, which is there. And then we had a couple of Taylor extras plus some radiators and discounts, so they actually quoted us £6,040. However, they do also have 4 years interest-free credit at the minute, so that splits the monthly payments to about £125-ish a month, something like that, which we can all do on the app. So if we wanted to go for it, we just go, yep, go on then, crack on kind of thing. So that's fine. So we've got that. We have had a quote that says £93 per month once we've taken one of the radiators off. So that doesn't sound too bad for me. 4 years free, interest-free, sorry. 4 years interest-free with £1,000 down, £93 a month, I don't think is too bad. So I think that's what we're going to go for. But we do have to get back in contact with British Gas to make sure we get a new quote on the go, and then we'll find out what they say after that. But that's what we're looking at. So we are going to get back in contact with British Gas, and we're going to do that now. Oh dear, that's dark. Hey, that's better. Right, so as you would have seen, we was just trying to replace this plug, which I actually broke, because I don't know if you can see across the switches, the two switches are broken. So we went out to B&Q to grab ourselves another plug socket. So behind here, brand new plug socket. However, I did break a little bit of a tile. Oh, my bad. Just smacked you on the side of the microwave. We also went out and bought a new microwave, which I don't think I've shown you yet. Lovely brand new Kenwood 900 watt microwave, looking fancy. But yeah, so the plug needed replacing because of the two switches. They were like half switches almost, a bit bizarre. But the only downside is all the others are silver, which makes it look kind of strange, but not the end of the world. And the kitchen will be ripped out eventually and will be fully replaced. But I have actually replaced one of the tiles, which makes it look a bit shabby now. I've basically replaced two broken switches with a broken tile. It's not the end of the world, but at least it's safe. I'd rather it be safe. So the plug socket works, microwave's come back on. I tested it with my phone as well. That charges in it. So it works, I did it all myself. But yeah, it's what it is. I broke a tile in the process. Next job on the list, we went all the way to Thurrock. No, it's a long way. Went to Thurrock for this. It's a bin. We haven't got one. One side's normal bin, one side will be recycling. Just a decent 30-litre bin. And check this out, like a glove. It's in there all nice and snug. Looks great. With a soft closing door as well. On both. Oh, okay, well, I mean, that's a bit silly. But soft closing on both, so that's good. Lovely stuff. It's been quite a few days since my last recording, since the last time I've been round here, and quite a lot has changed. Luckily, I've got an absolute fabulous mum who will quite happily sit round here in the freezing cold, because as we're all aware, these radiators don't work very well. You get about this much heat because the rest of it is filled with absolute disgusting. It needs flushing, it needs to go. I got myself my TV. This is my TV from my bedroom. It's a 40-inch JVC. It's nothing special. We do have a big TV that will eventually go up onto the wall, but this is my just standard JVC at the minute. And then behind here is my Xbox Series X, which I've been playing a little bit since, yeah, just while we're getting jobs done. We have an Xbox TV. It's got Sky Go. It's got BT Sport. Oh, also, just wanted to also address this. This is my worktop, by the way, so yes, it's very dirty, but I am just about to leave for work and thought I'd just chuck this on. So yeah, I apologise, this is also very dirty. So yeah, I've got TV, I've got Sky, I've got BT Sport, I've got absolutely everything I need. I can watch the Formula 1, everything's on there. I do have a TV licence. I have paid for one of them. That is already set up. If you want me to go through finances, I don't mind doing that so much, but there are some things that I'm going to keep private because there's things that I just don't feel like is worth sharing. But things like Sky or BT packages or things like that, I don't mind sharing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Just to give you a general idea of what I pay and what I do. But things like mortgage payments and stuff like that, I might keep on the down low. I'll give you a rough ballpark figure, but I won't actually make it all on there. Anyway, so if you want to know, let me know in the comments below if you want to know how much I'm paying and all that stuff. What else is new? Right, so we also do have some broadband. We have internet, which took a while to be set up. We had to choose the right package. Unlimited Wi-Fi, so it's the top of the range package, and the speeds on this are absolutely ridiculous. So once we are streaming and gaming and Jade wants a computer all set up and everything, that should cope with everything. The next thing that we've got is the bed. So this is a king size mattress with a king size mattress cover. We also got the Echo Show, which I'll show you, which is just sitting on that chair over there. I'll show you that in just a second. But yeah, the king size mattress and mattress cover. All the bed bits are upstairs. We're also going to replace these because these were, I don't know if you know, the rules are that when you move out of a house, you have to supply some form of lighting. So basically what they've done is just chuck an energy saving light bulb up in there. I think they've done that to all of them. Yeah, look, so they've just got energy saving bulbs everywhere just to make it nice and easy. But these are being replaced. So, it's not everybody's cup of tea, I will be honest. But this is the ceiling lights we have gone for. I think they make more of a soft, warm yellow kind of lighting. So we didn't want it to match the wall too much because this is very white, obviously. And obviously the bulbs are very white. But I think that's more of a warm yellow colour coming out of them. Let me show you the Echo Show. So this is basically what it is. It's basically an Alexa. So if we say, Alexa, show me the weather.
Here is the weather in Basildon.
There you go, Basildon, that's where we are. Bosh. Just like that. So she is basically an Alexa, but she does also work with a Ring doorbell, which is another thing we've got. And then the mayhem. The mayhem begins. As you may all be aware, we are getting a boiler fitted. So we are having a Combi boiler installed, which basically a Combi is a boiler that just constantly feeds you hot water. So you don't have a hot water tank. So let me just take you upstairs and I shall show you our little airing cupboard in here. I think I have been through this before with you, but just to confirm, this is going because this thing is ancient. And then there's also a water tank up here in the loft. I'm not going to take you up there today, but there is a water tank literally just there. It's a cold water tank, and both of these, that and that, are both going. The Combi boiler basically replaces this in here. Again, I know I've shown you this, but this is the old boiler. This is going. Can't quite remember what they're doing with the pipes, but I think these are staying, and we do have a carbon monoxide alarm just in case. It's set to 0. It's on 0, which is good. It means it's not leaking. So we've got that. But I told you this because we are also having to take out parts of the kitchen. So what they want to do is come in here, because the meters and everything are in here, but they want to get all the pipes to go through the stairs up here. So this cupboard has to go. I don't know why. I don't really get it too much. But I think it's got something to do with they need to get in here, basically. So Dad's drawing a line where he thinks we need to cut. And that whole section has to go. This is an extractor fan, which is really annoying. Because that could probably do with going as well. But I think they're quite hard to take off the wall. Plus then you'll have some holes because it's got to extract air somewhere. So it's all just a little bit of a pickle. Oh, that hurt. That was my knuckle. The only other thing, or in fact there are just a couple more things that we've got that are new. We also have a washer dryer. Excuse the mess, I will explain that in just a second. But we also have a washer dryer. Basically it's a washing machine that can also act as a tumble dryer. It's not on because we're not living here at the minute. And still not being used. But it's there. Combi set this up for us, so they deliver it and then they install it. Probably could have done it myself, to be honest. But we thought that if anything goes wrong, if I create a flood or anything in my house, I'm not the one that's liable. So we made Combi fit it for us, and then they're liable for any damages and stuff like that. Then we've also had, oh, and I can't remember if I told you, pretty sure I did, but we had a microwave that is currently sitting out there. Let me just take you over to here and show you it. This is a microwave that me and Mum, Dad, and my sister all used in the caravan that we have. And the caravan's really old, super old, blah, blah, blah. We took this out of it because basically we needed a microwave. And this thing is ancient. I think it's like 700 watt. We turned it on and I tried to cook some pasta in it, or like a, what do you call it, a ready meal that you stab the peas in. Anyway, and it stunk. It smelled like the boaters, yeah, sure. It smelled like the motors were really burning out. So basically we went out and bought ourselves a new microwave. Kenwood, don't really know much about it. I've already cooked food in it and it's great. It's 900 watt, fabulous. Okay, then the next thing, on to the next. The reason why all of this mess is here is because we've had new meters fitted by EDF. That is our energy company. So EDF have come and fitted some smart meters. And in case you guys don't know what that means, basically smart meters are so that every month you are supposed to have a look at your little digital dash thing on your meters, and you're supposed to supply a number to your energy company. So you're supposed to say, we've used X amount of units this month of electricity, and you're supposed to do the same for gas and the same for water. We are Essex and Suffolk water in and Anglian water out, I believe that's correct. Also we've got to supply the same numbers to them, obviously not electricity and gas, but we are supposed to supply them with a water meter. Now that is still sat in there. I think, as far as I'm aware, I am actually still supposed to supply them two with the water meter, because I don't think that has changed. But I'm pretty sure I can get onto them and get them to fit some form of smart meter. It's something I need to look into, so maybe I don't need to supply all the numbers to them. That switch shouldn't be on. Yeah, so we've got them to fit some smart meters, and basically that means that they can do it all electronically. So that will send a signal to my Wi-Fi, I believe, that will then send a signal out to EDF that will tell them we've used X amount, so we don't have to do a thing. The meters are doing it all for us ourselves, and obviously EDF had to get into the cupboard and took all of our stuff out. So we've got things like slow cookers and bags of crisps and George Foreman's and stuff like that. It was basically all just sat in this cupboard in the way, so he's emptied it and just chucked it there. Whew. Okay, so there's a couple more things. We've also had an alarm system fitted. I'm not going to show you where they all are, because basically it's the alarm system to the house, and I'm not going to show you how it works, obviously. So yeah, basically I think that's it. Friday I've got to get this moved, but Friday this is coming off the wall. At long last, this is going. We are going to have this replaced, but as you can see, because the plaster behind here is really crappy, we're going to get it replastered. This here, I don't know, I can't see my screen. This here is plywood. I can bend this. I don't know if that's showing on camera, but it's extremely flexible, which is why the plaster is cracking, which is why it's got to go. So we're taking this off of the wall this Friday. The date is the 8th, I believe. Alexa, what is the date?
It's Wednesday, the 15th of March.
There you go, Wednesday the 15th of March. So this is coming off in 2 days' time. Yeah, to get that looked at, to see what we can do. Plaster wires behind here. These holes were where the radiator cover was. So we've taken them out. I think I showed Joe taking them out of the wall. So we might ask if they can just be plastered over or something doing with that. What else? We are going to get this switch moved. We've got to speak to an electrician. We know a very, very good electrician that can do all the electrics in the house. Absolutely awesome guy. We don't have enough plugs, actually, plug sockets. The internet alone has taken up that one, and our sofa is going here, right? And it's an electric sofa, so we're going to need maybe some extension leads or something, but we might need some more sockets in the wall. But we're going to have to speak to him about that and see what he says. We do have a 2-socket here. Currently it's got the Show 8 plugged into it. And then over here we've got a double socket that's behind this rubbish bag. This is our bin at the minute. But we do have a double plug socket in there that's going to have the TV, it'll have the Xbox, it'll have, I don't know, different things that we've got here. We've also got like a big floating shelf thing that's going to go here. It should have everything on it. But we're going to need more than just a double plug socket. So we're going to have some plug sockets put in here. And then there is a plug socket down here, which is what has, or doesn't have at the minute, but should have, my Xbox and TV and everything plugged into here. We've got a little extension lead that will just go into there. But again, that's got to be moved because the radiator's coming off the wall. This, oh, excuse the lighting. I do apologise, I'll be very quick in here. All of these boxes are the king size, hey, king size bed. We've got the TV mount in here. That's all I need to show you because that light is really annoying me. But yeah, that's the king size bed. It's all in there. And in here, I'm hoping we're not going to have the same flickers. Okay, looks good. So in here again, I know I've shown you this in previous videos, but this, oh, we have got a slight flicker. That's annoying. So we have actually got to sand all of these walls down. We've got to do it. We did ask a couple of people what they would be able to do. Basically, they said you can do it yourself because it's super easy. You sand it down and you slap some filler on it. However, the guy that is coming over to do the radiator downstairs on Friday is also going to come and have a look at this. Now, I can only explain, but basically, this was just a little crack that was in the ceiling. And the alarm people, when they came around and fitted, had to get up into the loft to fit their cables and stuff like that. And there's something wrong with the loft. I haven't quite worked out what yet, but he went up there and basically said there's water everywhere. And if we have a little look in here as well, I don't know if you guys noticed it earlier actually, there's actually towels up here, paper towels that we've put down because the water is coming from this hole up here where all the pipes are. And was dripping onto this, which was then soaking everything. Everything down here was all wet. Anyway, long story short, that was causing issues here as well. So I don't know if we've got a major leak. I don't know if we've got fucking some kind of stupid leak. I've got no idea. But as you can see, there's a little bit of mould growing. I think because it's been up there a while. And again, look how stupid this is. It's plaster on top of, I think again this is wood, or this is some kind of like sticky resin sort of thing that's supposed to be up there. I don't really understand because I don't know DIY, I don't know plastering and anything like that. However, I do know that is wrong. So whoever's built this house has done an absolute monkey job, and it's got to go. Basically, it's got to go. It is what it is. So we're going to have a professional to come around and look at that. This is also the floating shelf I was talking about. So let me tilt it this way. So it's going to go like that on the wall. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It all lights up. I think it's grey. Oh no, it's white, the colour white, to match the wall. I think it's going to look all right. Anything in the kitchen that's changed? I don't think so. We've managed to get ourselves a double bin. I didn't show that, did I? Managed to get ourselves a lovely double bin. Look fabulous. And we have actually been looking at fridge freezers. So this, funny story actually, this is our fridge, obviously, and we did have a freezer that matched it. It's there. Basically because they said, oh, we've got a working freezer, it's great, blah, 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 blah. When we turned up, it was like a good couple of foot, and I'm not joking, a couple of foot of ice that is inside that freezer. So it's like they turned it on and put absolutely nothing in it, not cleaned it, anything, and it was just rammed, absolutely rammed, top to bottom with ice. Not ice cubes, ice. It was building up its own ice. It was mental. But this fridge, it works. It's a perfectly working fridge. We have actually got Coke cans and bottles and things in there at the minute. But someone had decided it would be a fab idea to turn the fridge on 6. And if you know anything about fridges, 1 is the lowest setting, so the warmest, and 6 is the highest setting, meaning the coolest. So we'd put Coke cans in there, and you imagine a can like that, right, that's fizzy, it's got all kinds of, I don't know, pressures and stuff inside that can, and inside it's freezing from the inside out. I can bend this can ever so slightly, but when I took the cans out of here, you could not move that an inch. I opened the fridge and there was just Coke everywhere. In fact, no, I walked in the front door and Dad said, oh, your fridge door's open. I came and had a look and there was 3 cans in this fridge that had exploded, slung the door open. There was Coke all over the floor, all over the door, all over the shelves. I think there was some in, because this wasn't here at the time, so there was all Coke in the hole in there. It was just absolutely everywhere. But it's because someone had turned the fridge on. I don't know whether someone had just plugged it in, chucked the cans in, thought, you know, that will be fine. Not even looked at the setting. I don't know whether the people that moved out did that on purpose. Don't really know. But yeah, that was just a bit peak. We had some Coke cans explode. What else? I think that's it. I think that is absolutely everything. I'm still trying to get through my sweets. It's taken a long process. I seem to like these more than the actual strawberry milkshakes themselves. I think that's it. I think that is it. All I've got to do is plug in the chime, which I shall do now, and I'm going to move that table somewhere. Not sure where. Boom! Just like that. Table was gone. Doorbell is plugged in down there, and I'm not going to show you the outside because it's got our door number and road name literally outside the house. But if I go onto here, I think I can go audio settings. This is what we have chosen. It's exactly the same as what you expect. There's loads on here. But there's ones like train whistle. Hang on. Play that from here. So they'll hear dun dun dun, and in here we're getting dogs barking. I think that'd freak you out if you're sitting here watching TV and then suddenly imagine if you're in bed and someone rings your doorbell and you're hearing Anyway, I really do have to go to work now because I'm quite late. The next clip which you'll see, hopefully, we'll have the radiator off the wall and that'll be plastered because I'm not coming back before Friday. So hopefully that'll be done. What else? I think there's a couple of jobs being done, but that's definitely one of them. Anything in the kitchen? I don't think there's anything in the kitchen. Oh, actually, while I'm here, just before I leave, I did manage to plug it in. So this is kind of what the home screen looks like. It is actually supposed to display the gas as well, but I think because it's had no charge, he said 48 hours and it's supposed to show you electricity and gas, but yeah, I don't know how to use this. Anyway, it's supposed to show us electricity and gas, but at the moment it's only showing us electricity, so I've plugged it in because the batteries he obviously gave me were so I plugged it in, and hopefully within the next 48 hours that should work, and it should tell us what we're using, how much we're using, why we're using it, and blah de blah de blah. But I really do have to go to work now because I am very late. I've managed to get the chime working. Why is that light on? I swear I turned that off. Yeah, the chime's now working, doorbell works, Wi-Fi works, Radiator's on the wall still, shouldn't be, but don't want it to be, but it's still there. TV's here, and it's time for me to go.